And Shalom, Shalom, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. First and foremost, I want to say call Laim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash, a double honor to the elders and apostle great military to tell me the truth and rule well. Much respect to you brothers out there pushing the truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, Shalom. All right, so today I'm just going into the word supersessionism. It says, also called replacement theology, is a Christian doctrine which asserts that the new covenant through Hamashiach Yahweh Shah supersedes the old covenant, which was made exclusively with the Jewish people. All right. It says in Christianity, supersessionism is a theological view on the current status of the church in relation to the Jewish people. In Judaism, it holds the view that the Christian church has succeeded the Israelites as the definitive people of the Most High, or it holds the view that the covenant has replaced or superseded the Mosaic covenant. From a supersessionist point of view, just by continuing to exist outside the church, the Jews' descent, this view directly contrasts the dual covenant theology, which holds that the Mosaic covenant remains valid for the Jews. Confusion. You know, the Lord is not an author of confusion. All right, it says supersessionism has formed a core tenet of Christian churches for the majority of their existence. Christian traditions that have championed dual covenant theology, including the Roman Catholic, Reformed, and Methodist teachings of this doctrine, have taught that the moral law continues to stand, correct? But a lot of times when they get taught to Christians, and they'll say that, the law is done away with. It says the Islamic tradition views Islamic as the final and most authentic expression of Abrahamic prophetic monotheism, superseding both Jewish and Christian teachings. The doctrine of Tarif teaches the earlier monotheistic scriptures of their interpretations have been corrupted, while the Quran presents a pure version of the divine message that they originally contained. All right, and a little bit of etymology on the word supersessionism. It says it comes from the English verb supersede, from the Latin verbs sedicio, sedere, sedi, sessum, to sit, plus super, upon, so sit upon. It thus signifies one thing being replaced or supplanted by another. It says the word supersession is used by Sidney Thawal in the title of the chapter 3 of his 1870 translation of Tertullian's Adversus Adeios. Tertullian wrote between 198 and 208 after death. The title provided by Thawal, it is not in the original Latin, which means against the Jews. All right, so Christianity never supplanted, the Israelites. All right, I'm gonna go back up. Saw something else. It talked about both of these covenants. It says holds the view that the new covenant has replaced or superseded the Mosaic covenant. Oh, no, I don't think that was it. Oh yeah, no, that was it, because it basically going into they say that the new covenant was for them and the new covenant was for Christians. That's what they believe. But we can go into that. All right. This is Romans chapter 9. We start at verse 4. It says, actually, we start at verse 3. It says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, from my brethren, my kinsmen, Salakia, according to the flesh. So Paul himself was kinsman to Hamashiach and the rest of the Israelites. That's proven in Romans 11. It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory, all the respect, all the glory goes to, first and foremost, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah and the Israelites. It says in the covenants, all the covenants, whether it be the old or new covenant, go to the Israelites. It says in the giving of the law was only given to the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. Nobody else can sit up here and try to, slide in or supplant or, try to adopt or take on the law. It was only given to Israelites. It says the service of God. So the only people that can actually work for the Lord are the true prophets, the true men of the Lord, being Israelites. They're the only people that can call themselves prophets, teachers, uh, uh, evangelists, and things of that nature. It says in the promises, all these were given to the Israelites, the nation of Israel. All right, we can go down some. Sorry, verse 6 says, not as though the word of the Most High hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. And you know that those that are not of Israel, I'm talking about nation, the rest of the nation, you know, but those that are of the Israel of the Lord are going to first and foremost take on those promises in the covenants. All right. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, you know, because, you know, a Christian to try to slide in there, or, you know, an Islamic person try to slide in there and be like, well, you know, we're children of Abraham, you know, but it didn't just stop at Abraham. You know, the Lord has always passed on the promise to a promise to, you know, the next in line. So after Abraham, it was Isaac and then Jacob. You know, as we're gonna get, it says, are they all children? But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. You know, because the promise was given to Isaac and then to Jacob. It says that they were children of the flesh. These are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also have conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. You know, so the promise went on to Isaac. All right. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. All right. So before they even came out, you know, the Lord already had it, you know, set in stone who was going to be who's going to be called, who's going to be chosen. All right. And the promises went to Jacob. It says, it is said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. You know, so the Lord chose Jacob. All right. He didn't choose a Christian. He didn't choose those that belong to supersessionism. All right. He chose Israel, the 12 tribes. All right, this is Romans 11 and verse 1. It says, I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So you have to be in the seed of Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, you know. It says, has the Lord cast away his people? You know, God forbid. You know, according to the covenant, he never cast away his people. He's always dealt with the nation of Israel. This is Revelation 21:12. It says, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So to reiterate, no supersessionist, no Christian, no Methodist, no Baptist is going to make it in the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of heaven. You know, repentant Israelites, you know, those that come back into the knowledge that they are of Israel will make it, you know, if it's the Lord's will. But as a Christian, you know, you're not going to make it into the kingdom. All right. So Lord willing, that was at the final close out by saying, call light and block. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim, Karadashah.